Hello, everyone. I'm George Reminded. Well, thank you for coming back to my channel. This is about Maria Steen. I hope I pronounced her name correctly, but may she be President of Ireland. Maria Steen is trying to get nominated. I have an awful feeling that she's not going to make it, and she's never held any elected office before. This is not a requirement. I'd not never even contested a public office, so far as I know. But she would make a superb president. She's the best of Ireland, obviously intelligent, articulate, educated, someone who wants to do the best for the public, is really a conviction politician and actuated by that, a need to serve the public. Now, I don't agree with her on everything, but she's on the right side of the most important issue of all. She wants to defend our children. And unfortunately, the others are either against or neutral. That chap who was head of the GAA. I mean, well, sorry, was he? I think the manager of Dublin GAA team. I don't pay any attention to the Gaelic Athletic Association. Um, Unfortunately, he is a sworn enemy of Irish children, so he's a danger to our youth. But Maria Steen at least wants to defend them, and that is admirable. This ought to go without saying. We should have everybody on that side. And a few decades ago, we would have had everybody on that side. And Irish society has improved immeasurably in the last couple of generations in most regards, but not that one. Is the one way it's got worse. So she's about the right age. She's in her late 40s, if I got that right. She can't be considered too old. Obviously, 35 is the minimum age. Now, I don't really care about her family situation, not a family values person, but she likes to emphasize that she's married, she's got 5 children, and so on. And obviously, people are not having enough children. I'm not saying I'm obliged to have children. Okay, so she's a highly intelligent lady, a graduate of University College Dublin, our biggest university, and King's Inns. That's where she was called to the bar. So I don't think she's been a practicing barrister because she's been a full-time mother for quite some time. So she's been involved in referenda. Now, she was on the no side of the 2015 referendum to legalize gay marriage. I probably would have abstained on that one. I mean, I didn't want it to happen. Now that it's happened, I don't perceive it as being injurious to anyone. We ought to be very careful about granting entitlements because once they've been granted, they're very, very difficult to take away. I don't perceive any need to deprive people of this right now they've got it. I don't think it's undermined heterosexual marriage. I mean, I don't care about marriage very much. I'm not a family values person. She is. You do what you want. You get married. You don't get married. You have children. You don't have children. You'll be gay, bi, straight, whatever. I'm neutral on that. People be celibate, promiscuous, monogamous, I'm not judgmental on this one. Maybe she is a little bit. And she said that she also campaigned the referendum last year, where her side carried the day when they were in the Constitution were going to reword things, no longer to say about a mother's duties in the home. I mean, a woman's duties wherever she wants it to be, whether a mother or not. So I might have even disagreed with her on that one. But the crucial thing is she's the only one who wants to save our children. Now, I know as a president, she's not, she won't be a dictatrix. Her powers will be severely circumscribed. If legislation comes to her from the Oireachtas, she can at least refer it to the Supreme Court to test the constitutionality of the act, as happened occasionally. I remember Carullo Dawla did that in the 70s, led to was the defense minister saying it was a thundering bollocks in an oration he delivered to soldiers. And when that a government minister apologized but wasn't dismissed. Carullo Dawla said, well, the honor of my office is impugned. It's not because of me personally, it's because as the highest officer of the state, I cannot have that office demeaned, and therefore I shall tender my resignation. He won't dismiss him. Anyway, perhaps an overreaction. But such is the role. So it's almost like, an uncrowned monarch as a figurehead, because obviously for previous part of the United Kingdom and left that kind of gap in the psyche, someone a bit like that elected, an important difference, not hereditary, but he or she is not to be taking part in the daily political rows. I mean, there's nothing against the president mouthing off on this or that, and ultimately, commissioning officers into the armed forces, ambassadors receiving the credentials of foreign ambassadors, being really the face of the republic abroad. So that's her. Happily married for many years, and she taught her own children at home. So she's renowned for what she did in the Protection of Life during Pregnancy Act, all she did to try and save children. And she correctly said that we shouldn't murder little children just because a mother threatens self-destruction. So I don't know whether that's ever happened. And then people could make completely bogus claims so that they will get to destroy their children and so forth. Unfortunately, evil won in 2018. It doesn't seem there's much chance of turning it around, but we've got to do what we can to defend our children. So there she is going for it, and she's got a few members of the Oireachtas on her side. Sharon Keegan, and and a TD, Wayne Two backer. I mean, not that I like Wayne Two over much. Now, some of these people have rather distasteful views in immigration, but they're at least right on this one issue. So I was going to say that I'm not optimistic. Um, and notably, her aunt, she stood last time but didn't get anywhere actually. Okay, so we can hope that she will um, carry the day. I think the real Everest, if she manages to climb this one, is even to be nominated, because I don't see it happening. And she's not trying to go down the county council route. Now, we've had two barristers before, or three actually, who've been president. So Carula O'Dora, um, back in the 70s, the only one to resign. Mary Robinson, Mary McAleish, and now Maria Steen would be the fourth. And we've had two women as well. She'd be the third one. Okay, since Mary McAleish had to retire, because remember you can serve only 2 terms, then we've had Michael D. Higgins, and President Higgins, his second 7-year term is drawing to a close. So after 14 years, he is obliged to retire. And then nominations are closing very soon, about a week actually, and the election's going to be sometime, is it October? Sometimes it's been in November. But so anyway, Maria Steen, she is the best of Ireland. So unfortunately, I don't have the vote in this election as I'm not resident in the state. You know, but I could be a candidate. I mean, I did declare my candidacy, but didn't get anywhere. Surprise, surprise there. So I mean, I know she's passionately religious. Nothing wrong with that. Some people are not. I mean, I am not. So she's part of Iona, the Iona Institute, which is there to defend Christian virtue, morality, and so on. Not something I'm really into, but something which ought to be beyond argument is the sanctity of life and defending the most vulnerable members of society, saving the innocent little girls, little boys from sexual violence perpetrated by their parents, by doctors and nurses, by the abortion industry, by those who have grown rich by murdering little kids, by inflicting hypoxia on them, by ripping them apart, by torturing them to death by every conceivable means, by breaking their spines, by crushing their little, not even fully formed crania, and all sorts of other abominable and hideous acts. We wouldn't allow this against any other group in society. People over the 75, or gay people, or priests, or the homeless. For some reason, is the defenseless. It's fair. Their fair game. It's open season on them. Anyway, please do what you can. Nominate Maria Steen, and if she gets to be a candidate, give her your first preference. Thank you. Goodbye.